So in this quick video, I'm just going to show you how to rank at the top of a search in Google. This is a paid technique, so you need to be doing some organic SEO alongside this. But if you want to quickly get your business noticed in your local area, then this is a really good way of being top of the list and getting noticed quickly and getting links, getting clicks through to your website. So the example I'm going to show you is with a business that I work with, which is a barbers in my local area. This is their website. And basically, due to current restrictions and things, they've gone to an online booking system. So they're looking for people to find them by putting in barbers in and then the local area. So whatever area you're in, for example, if you were in London, then you would be looking for people to be Googling barbers in London or your region. And ideally, you want to be at the top of the list when those search results come up. And that's not always easy without doing an extensive SEO work on your website and a bit of time involved with that as well. So a quick way of around that is to basically pay Google to put you at the top of all of the other barbers in your local area, so that when somebody Googles it, you are the first one that appears. It's really, really simple to do. You can do it for relatively low cost, probably £150 to £200 per month. Depending on where you are, you might need to play around with those figures, but that's roughly what you're going to need to pay to get appointments coming through to your business. So I'm going to quickly show you how to do that. So first things first, you may or may not know, but you can get £120 worth of free Google ad credits basically at the moment. So if you literally just Google Ads credits, so you might find one that says £75, but they're actually doing 125. So have a little hunt around for that. I think this voucher that I clicked on earlier was the one. Just make sure that you're on Google as well, because there's some other companies out there that are paying for those search terms that will try and hook you into their business. You'll just need to put in your email address. So if you don't have a Google account already, then you'll need to set one up. Google will pay the first £120 in that account before they start charging you. So you will have to put in your bank details or your debit card, whatever you're going to use. But they will cover £120 worth of ads. So it's almost a month's worth of ads effectively before they start charging you. So just a quick example of what I was talking about earlier on Google. If I was to search the term barbers near me, because that would be relevant to me searching for a barbers, you can see that nothing comes up in this page section at the top. These results here are people that have signed up to Google My Business, and then you have the first few organic search terms that will come up down below that. Actually, the business that I work for has got very, very good reviews, which is why they're at the top here anyway. If I try barbers in the area that they are, so barbers in Southsea, again, they come right at the top. There's no other paid ads at the moment, which is good. Actually, there's one paid ad down the bottom here, but they're obviously not paying a lot, which is why they're down the bottom there. Ideally, what you want to do is come at the top of the page here so that you're literally the first thing that people will click on when they land on the results. This will be the page that you're presented with once you've gone through and set up your account. You need to create a new campaign because we're going to be setting up something completely new, and that's going to be a search-based campaign. So actually, it's actually none of these here. You want to click on this one, create a campaign without a goals guidance, and then the first one you'll see is search, because that's the platform, that's the Google advertising platform that we want to target is search, and that'll be where people will put things like barbers in Southsea or florist in Portsmouth or wherever you are. We are looking for website visits. If you have a phone number and you would rather take phone calls, so if you're booking over the phone and writing it yourself into your computer system or book or whatever you're doing, then you might want to push for phone calls, and that Google will target people that will actively phone you. We're going to be doing website visits. I imagine most of you are also going to be doing website visits, so we'll focus on that one for the minute. So then you need to put in your business website. For this business, it's houndsbarbers.com, so we'll just put the URL in there. You can call the campaign whatever you want. Like search one is fine. You might want to do your area, so search Southsea in this case, and just put number one after it so that you know it's your first one. We don't want to be using the display network at this point, so we'll unclick that. We're just literally going to be doing a low cost effective targeting campaign for search. Depending on the area that you're in, this is where you will select whether you're trying to target all countries, just the United Kingdom, or your specific location. With this one, obviously, they just have one shop in a specific area, so they don't need to be targeting London, for example, because they're based in Portsmouth on the south coast of England. So we would enter another location and then literally just put in the location that they're in, and target that, because we don't need to be targeting anyone out of that area. We don't need to worry about languages. We don't need to select specific audiences, because we're basically targeting anyone that's in our local area that will be looking for a barber's. I mean, you could get a bit more specific with that. You could niche it down and say that you just want to particularly target men and not women. If you were man's barbers, obviously. If you want to leave it open, because women sometimes will be looking for barbers for their boyfriends or husbands, so it's probably worth leaving that in, to be honest. Budget, as I said, I would start at £5 a day, which will work out about £150 per month. I think that's a good starting point, and that will give you a really good guide and a place to work from for the future to see how you're ranking. Bidding, you want to stick with conversions. We don't need to set a target cost per action. Next, we'll just quickly talk about site link extensions. So site link extensions are basically services that you offer. And as Google says here, 15% higher click-through rate by showing additional information for your ads. So basically, the more information that you serve up to someone, the more likely they are to click through to your advert. So it's definitely worth doing some of this, even if you just put a couple of extensions for each section. As an example, I'm going to use a site extension shop, because this particular barber's has an online shop as well. And then the final URL will be the URL for the shop page on the website. So you just copy the URL from that page and pop it in there. You can add more. I'm just going to stick for one for the minute. So call-out extensions are basically just where you would add your expertise. Established 5 years, expert barbers, and booking facility. So there's 3 that we could use for that business. Obviously, you can create your own for your business, whatever it is. On this next page, Google will try to help you with their new keywords experience. This can be a good thing, but I'm also going to show you how to select your own keywords based on other searches that people are doing in your local area for your business. It's very, very easy to do. So we're going to put barbers in Southsea. So these are some of the keywords that things people are looking for in the local area. So these are some names of other barbers basically in the local area. We don't really want to target those, because people aren't really going to necessarily be searching for those. Unless you want to target a competitor, then leave those in. What I would suggest is going to Google and literally just typing in the beginning of what you think people will be looking for. So with this one, the main one would be barbers in Southsea, because that's kind of what most people would look for. So if we just put in barbers in Southsea, you can actually see some of the other top keywords that people are putting in as well. So you could also target some of these. Barbers in Southsea, best barbers in Southsea, Barbers Southsea Marmin Road, which is a road in the local vicinity, Barbers Southsea open on Sunday. So you could use some of these keywords, knowing that those are the main ones that Google is suggesting to people that they search for. So if you can serve your advert to these people, then they're more likely to click on your advert. So we're definitely going to start with barbers in Southsea. The other one that I would use, that I've just checked people are using, especially with local businesses, this works really well. So again, barbers near me. If you're a florist, for example, you might want to put florist near me, because Google will know where the person searching is, their local area, and they will serve them up the businesses that are closest to that person, because that's what they're looking for at the end of the day. The other thing that you can do is go through some of the other search results and effectively look at what keywords and what URLs are being used by Google in those businesses and how they're ranking them. So for this one, for example, the Terrace Portsmouth is a multi-award winning barbershop. So Google has highlighted barbershop there because it knows that it's a local barbershop. So we'll also put in barbershop, and we could put in barbershop near me and barbershop Southsea. Now, don't worry too much about being broad with one like barbershop, because obviously, like I said before, we're only targeting Southsea, so Google will know not to push this out of the area. So if you, for example, said the UK and somebody put in barbershop, then someone from up north somewhere could find you if you were in the south of England, and vice versa. If you were hadn't distinguished your area, then somebody in the south of England could find your business that's in the north of England. So make sure you define where you are so that Google knows where to serve the ad up. Okay, so that'll do for the minute. You can always go back and add more keywords in at some point if you find that somebody is searching something else, or you discover something else that you want to add in. You can always go back and add that in later on. Okay, so the next screen is where you'll be basically making up the advert that will appear at the top of the page when people find you via the search results. First of all, we need to add in some headlines. Now, what I would suggest here is that you align your headlines with the things that people are using in the search terms. So we know that one of the search terms is barbers near me for this business. So we will put as one of the headlines, barbers near you. Because people will be looking for that result. They'll have put barbers near me, and if you're giving them an advert that says, here's a barber's near you, then they're more likely to click on that because you're resonating with what they're saying. If they're award-winning, then you could put award-winning barbers, something like expert barbering appointments available, possibly get in your location as well. So we could put barbers in Southsea. The other good thing to do is have a look over your website and use some of the terminology that you've used in your website as well, because it helps when people land on the site to associate the two between the advert and your business. We could use this in exquisite creative space, and also I'm going to use local barbers just to resonate with somebody that's local to the vicinity. You can add more, but we're just going to stick with that for the minute. Now here you would add the description of your business. So I'm going to use the heading that we use on the website. It has to be under 90 characters. So we're just going to have to trim this down a little bit. I'm not going to do another description just for this example. So when you're done there, click done. Now what I would recommend at this point is Google likes you to have more than one type of advert. So go in and try and create 3 variations of the advert. You'll just be mixing up the descriptions and the keywords and trying different variations, because Google wants to go and serve up those adverts, so 3 minimum ideally, to the audience to see which one resonates with them best, and the one that they think is getting the most clicks and helping you out as a business the most is the one that they will keep serving up. So I would highly recommend that you go in at this point and create a few more adverts in the same way that we just did that first one. From this point you'll come to the summary page where you'll be able to see what you've set up. You can see on this one that Google's recommended that we create at least 3 ad campaigns to improve the performance. So like I said, make sure that you do that. This will show you where your campaign budget is. So we've gone for £5 a day to start with. We're starting it today with no end date. You can pause the campaigns whenever you want. So after a month or 2 months, if you feel like it's not working for you, then you can always come into the account and pause it very easily, or increase the amount that you want to spend. And then we would just go to publish and publish that. And that is now live. It will probably take between 5 and 10 minutes for that advert to show. So I will come back to you and show you what it looks like once it's live. Okay, so it's been about 10-15 minutes since we set up that Google search campaign. So I just want to show you what it's potentially going to look like for your business when you have done that. And I'm just going to test out the campaign by putting in something that we use, which was barbers near me. And yeah. As you can see at the top of the page, now we have our advert, your local barber, professional barber shop, and some of the other details that we put in there. These are the call outs that we used. This is 2 for products that they offer. But obviously that will differ depending on what you've put in the call outs. So yeah, that's how you can get right to the very top of the Google search pages, which is something which is incredibly difficult to do and takes a long time normally with organic blogs and SEO keywords, and a lot of time and experience. But if you want to kind of almost cheat the system and pay to be right at the very top so that you get business quicker, and you can come above your competitors very easily and cost effectively, this is just £5 a day campaign that we're running here. Straight away they're going to be getting clicks and appointments made to their business. So I hope that helps with your small business, and if you have any questions, then feel free to get in touch.